Hello, everybody. Jonathan Rayo here with SimplifiedGuitar.com, and welcome to episode 4 of the How to Play Q&A, where I answer your questions and song suggestions. Today, we have a song suggestion from Joy Benko, who wants to know how to play the song Amanda by Don Williams. So let's go ahead and tackle that. So I went ahead and typed in Amanda by Don Williams, and this is what showed up on Google. I clicked the link to, I believe it was Ultimate Guitar that showed up. And this is what I got, which is in the key of A. Okay, so we have 4 chords. So we have actually 3 chords. We have A, D, and E. Now, I would suggest transposing this song from the key of A to the key of G. And if you still wanted to play it in the key of A, you could use your capo, put it on the 2nd fret, play it with the G chord family, and you'd still be playing in the key of A, which is the original key of the song. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to transpose this song from the key of A to the key of G. And just so you know how to do that, if you want to do this on your own, you can use my Simplified Transposing cheat sheet, which is right here. You can get this in my ebook, Hobby Guitar, which is on my website for free. And with this cheat sheet, what you can do is you can find the A chord family and change it to the G chord family. So right here, you can see this column going across this way is the A chord family, and we can change it to the G chord family, which is right here in blue. So all we got to do is find the chords in the A chord family and change it to G. So let me go back to the song. And so in this case, A would become G, as we see in the chord cheat sheet here. So A becomes G. Okay. Go back to the song. D would become, so if we find D in the A chord family, so D is right here, okay? So D becomes C, and the other chord, I believe, is E. E becomes D. So instead of A, D, and E, we're now going to be playing with G, C, and D. Now, I like to use variations of the traditional way to play C and D, and I'll show you that right here in my chord family cheat sheet, which is also in the ebook. So G, this is basically the traditional way to play a G. For C, I like to use C add 9 within the G chord family because they're so similar. The C add 9 is so similar to the G, it just makes sense because it makes transitioning from one to the other a lot easier. They also have a lot more in common with each other, which just makes them sound better together. And then instead of a traditional D, I'm going to be using this D over F sharp. So I'm going to be using these 3 chords right here for this song, and I'm going to be playing those 3 chords with my capo on the 2nd fret. So I'm going to actually be playing it in the key of A, but using the G chord family, okay? I'm also going to be using the swing strum pattern, which on my strum pattern cheat sheet is the 3rd strum pattern down here. So it's going to be a 3-beat strum pattern, right? So we've got 3 beats, 3 down strums, and then an up strum after beat 3, and then we repeat. We're also going to add a little bit of dynamics to that. So our down strums on 2 and 3 are going to be full down strums, but our very first beat of the measure, we're just going to pluck the first note of the chord. So, for instance, if I'm playing that very first chord, which is a G, the first note of that is going to be this low E string, okay? So for beat 1, every time we go back and restart the measure on beat 1, I'm just going to pluck that string by itself, okay? And so that's going to be the case for the G chord and the D chord, but for the C add 9 chord, the first note is actually the A string, right? The low E string is not part of the C add 9, so keep that in mind when you're playing these chords. When you get to the C add 9, make sure to start on that A string, not the low E string. You can also use your thumb to come across the top and just touch the low E string so it doesn't resonate while you're strumming. That'll help just to get that low E string out of the way so you don't accidentally hit it. All right, so let me go ahead and play the song for you just so you can see me put all of that together, the strum pattern and those chords, the G, C, and D. And so you can see what it would sound like. Held it all inward, Lord knows I've tried. It's an awful awakening in the country boy's life, to look in the mirror in total surprise at the hair on your shoulders, the age in your eyes. Amanda, light of my life, fate should have made you a gentleman's wife. Amanda, light of my life, fate should have made you a gentleman's wife. All right, again, so that strum pattern, we've got 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, like that. If you're not familiar with this strum pattern, that's how you can practice it, just by muting the strings and practicing just the strum pattern by itself until you get comfortable with it, and then you can throw in the chords on top of it as well. When you're making the transitions, you're going to keep in mind that it's a good idea to transition on the and at the end of the measure. So we have 1, 2, 3, and, right? So on that and is where you want to pick up the fingers that are moving. In this case, just the first and second finger are moving. The third and fourth are staying where they are. So on and, you can pick up the first and second finger, and then you want them back down as you begin 1 on the new measure. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, like that, okay? So you make that transition at the end, right there at the very end of the measure, okay? And even though your fingers are up while you're strumming up, it goes so fast that nobody's going to hear that you're hitting strings that actually aren't even being held down. It's totally fine, okay? And so what you can do is when you're practicing and your transitions are slow, you can play it slow, right? Play it at a much slower speed. 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, like that, just to practice those transitions and getting your fingers to move to the new chord faster and faster, right? All right, Joy, I hope that was useful for you. If anybody else has any questions or song suggestions, you can head on over to the link below, simplifiedguitar.com/ask, and you can submit your questions and song suggestions there. All right, I hope to see you guys in another tutorial soon. Take care.